Hey guys, it's Cynical Who here, and welcome back to another video. It feels so good to be saying that because another Doctor Who episode has just aired. It's the 1st of January, New Year's Eve, and it's Revolution of the Daleks
It's
this
New Year's
time.
Day
And of
actually, but
course,
yeah. Apart from
it
that,
is
4
New Year's
points.
Day.
I just, I,
I
I
thought I
was,
was going to be able to do an intro without
I
cocking
would
up.
just like to say, sort of coming upstairs after that, I just forgotten how much I enjoyed watching a new episode of Doctor
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
without all the
Oh, I
negativity, and it
loved
just
it.
felt nice. And yeah, I still don't like
So yeah,
Series
of course
12,
we're.
but I will say I liked this better. I thought, there were nits to pick, but I thought it was okay. I'll probably hate it more when I watch it a second time, but it was okay.
Yeah, because it was the same thing with Spyfall last year. Spyfall was a whole year
Yeah,
ago.
I know.
I still can't comprehend that. It feels like literal matter of months. But I think we're just going to go quickly start off with a brief run through, and then I've got it up on iPlayer, and we can sort of pick through
Okay.
the scenes. And so very quickly, overall, what did you think?
Well, as I say, nits to pick. Basically, I went in and I sort of have. I've said this before on numerous occasions. I had my doubts about the prison drama part of it, the Doctor being in prison.
Yes.
I thought, well, that would be nice as its own thing, but it's probably just going to be something that's sort of happening elsewhere, and it's sort of like the Timeless Children. It sort of cuts to and fro that and the companion sorting out the Daleks, and I just don't like the idea that it's going to be like two different plots at once that don't really fit and kind of need their own space.
Yeah.
And yeah, sure enough, the prison drama is utterly inconsequential, lasts about 5 minutes, and yeah, it makes no sense if you've not seen The Timeless Children. It makes little sense even if you've watched The Timeless Children, and it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, it doesn't look like it anyway
Mm,
because the Jadoon don't come running later on in the episode, although maybe that's the plot for the next series. And yeah, the Captain Jack commits a load of crimes just to get the Doctor out, and it's just really resolved really quickly. So what? But yeah, I went in without any expectations. That scene aside, but then I saw the font at the start and like the ugly orange
oh god,
serif
yeah.
like career, I think
I
it
was
is, and I
thinking.
thought, oh god, this is going to be a quality product. But no, I kind of picked nits with the dialogue and certain plot holes, like how the hell did Leo get all the way over to Osaka? But as it went on, I really enjoyed it. I liked Robertson wasn't so irritating this time round.
No, he was quite good
The whole
actually.
Dalek political drama I liked, even though it took a long time for the sort of actual Doctor Who, for the Doctor to get involved. But I thought, even though it's a bit by the numbers and maybe you could argue it's not particularly original, I quite liked it. Um,
Mm.
and there's stuff that could have, that was all right, that could have worked better if other episodes had been more effective in their characterization. Like, there's a lot of I thought the pacing on the whole was okay. I didn't feel it was too long at 70 minutes, or 71 to be more precise. And
Yeah, yeah.
there were a lot
I
of
was quite
there
surprised
were a
because I
lot
thought it
of
was going to be
very nice
50 minutes.
character
And
moments with the Doctor talking about Ryan's beanie, and I wish we could
yes,
have had more character moments like that. I'm not saying there haven't been attempts, but and there were lots of lovely shots as well where the fams say goodbye, and you get this shot where there's kind of like all of them looking down on the camera as they're hugging, which looks lovely, but it felt like it
yeah,
should have had more impact. It's like you feel. I don't want to say it could have been better, that like the writing could have been better, because that's not particularly analytical and it's not particularly clever thing to say. And someone said it 30 years ago, and look at him now. But I just wish, this could have been more. But yeah, I mean, on the whole, I enjoyed it for the simple romp that it was. I mean, Captain Jack was kind of just there. This is the thing that you can pick nits in it, but if you just want a simple fun ride, it's fine.
yeah,
It's no different to like a Moffat adventure, like Asylum of the Daleks.
yeah. I think as a sequel to, I really like the. It did remind me of an old comic, but obscure like that. I think the I liked how it was a sequel for Resolution. Obviously, we saw that coming.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, overall, I'd probably give it maybe a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. Obviously, the same thing with like Spyfall. I seem to have a massive like reaction to it immediately, going, "Oh my god, that was the best thing ever." I think it's just because of the lack of no Doctor Who for well 10 months. Same
Yeah.
as the companions experienced. It's just been really good to have it back and looking on Twitter and seeing it #1 trending and
Mm.
just I really it was just really nice to sort of be back in a way.
Yeah, I felt like that as well at the end. It was just nice to have Doctor Who on our screens. I
Yeah,
don't
and
like the
seeing the
fact that,
Daleks as well.
you have these long gaps, but
No, and it's we don't know how long the next one's going to be. But we were left with a really. Are we going to talk about the extra ending bit
yeah,
now, or are we going to
I'm
save
just
that to the
looking to see if there are any announcements that have been made. Apparently, the papers have announced that this guy is going to be the new companion, but I'm just looking for proof of that.
Right.
So,
Yeah, because I'm not sure.
bear with me. Right, so
Companion.
according to the
I
Daily
was.
Express, John Bishop unveiled as new companion. So this wasn't actually a part of the episode itself. This was a teaser that was aired after the episode itself. Where essentially I think John Bishop is kind of, I didn't catch the dialogue. I would need to watch it again, but he kind of loads a van and smiles, and already it's better character development than Yaz, Graham, and Ryan got.
Oh,
Sorry, it's a
I'm gonna have
really
words with you
obvious
about
joke,
that.
but I mean, we'll see where it goes. I don't know. It's not much, but we'll see.
So,
But the rumor is
yeah,
it's going to be October, I think, this year. So it's definitely going to be this year. Which,
yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Right.
but there's
So
not much to say about.
I'm gonna
Bishop,
quickly.
but-
No, not yet. I'm just gonna quickly go through it on iPlayer, and just talk about some bits that stuck in my mind. So obviously the fonts, because I know we've had complaints about that for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
It was better, but still not brilliant.
I would. Well, I mean, nothing could be worse than the resolution, like the resolution font.
No,
But
no,
I think
no.
the Spyfall
Awful.
font was certainly better.
Yes, even though it was the
Why couldn't
John
it?
Pertwee
You know
titles,
the
but-
Battle of Ranskoor Av Kolos? They actually used the typeface they've been using on the merchandise
Yes.
and in the credits. Surely it's not that difficult for them to just use that all the time for consistency. I thought that was the typeface they were using, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah. So actually, this is something I want to talk about. So Robertson, who everyone sort of thought, oh God, why is he coming back? Because he was sort of unanimously hated in Arachnids in the UK, and it was sort of a bit weird to bring him back. Although we did suspect at the time he was going to be like a sort of Harriet Jones type returning character. But I think he was actually done a lot better in this
Yeah.
one. Maybe Chibnall had taken on board some of those criticisms and added, and just he wasn't too grating.
Well, no,
he was quite
it's
funny
not
in some
that.
scenes.
It's just the close connotations with Trump have kind of gone.
Yes, yes.
And there weren't any sort of outrageous scenes like at the end of Arachnids in the UK where he kind of shoots the spider, and people are like, "Oh, that's a bad thing," and then people were like, "Well, he has a point." There were no scenes quite on that level.
I think the ending scene where he managed to like make it on TV and take all the
That felt weird, but I don't know.
yeah, I
And
didn't hate it, but I mean, are we
it
gonna?
felt weird
I
that they
also-
didn't kill him on the spot, but never mind.
Yes, that was quite odd, but I guess there was a bit of a way around that they couldn't have done. I was expecting him to die at some point, or maybe get turned into a Dalek or something, but so of course we were left on the cliffhanger at the end of the Timeless Children, with Jodie being taken to prison for. What were the reasons? So obviously they picked up on other crimes that she committed, but what was the sole reason that they
I don't
actually?
know. I think it's to do with stuff in
Just to
Fugitive
make
of the
way for the plot.
Jadoon and the Division. And I think she says at some point in the episode, "I was arrested for being me," or something like that. I don't know. I would need to watch it again and get the dialogue. I did notice with the Dalek dialogue there were certain mixing issues, but maybe I'm looking too hard for that. Like I couldn't hear the dialogue at times.
Yes.
But it was
Daleks were a
nowhere near
bit-
the level of say Ghostlight in terms of not being able
God,
to
no,
hear the
no.
dialogue. But
I've just seen on Twitter. Apparently, the John Bishop's character is called Dan.
well,
Apparently,
that's not been
I mean, we'll
confirmed.
have
I'm
to
on the Doctor Who Twitter account right now, and that's not.
I think it's yeah. I mean, again, just.
But
lots
Doctor
of...
Who's trending, which is fine, I
Yes,
suppose.
yes, and Bradley Walsh. So yeah, it was. I think we were all looking forward to seeing obviously Jack come back with Jodie. I loved Jodie sort of in the prison and the.
Yeah, I was kind of.
again,
I will say when
did see-
Jodie was in the prison, I just thought this isn't quite right. She's not. It's not pitched to her. I thought she got better as it went on, but she was kind of like it
Yes.
wasn't really
Yeah.
suited to her sort of comedic,
I
sort
feel
of
like
talking to
after a while of being
herself.
stuck in a
Feel.
situation like that, the Doctor would be a bit more lively because obviously you would be a point where you'd be tired
I don't
and
know.
and all, but and there was sort of, I noticed Lord Slar on Twitter did say some of the dialogue was a bit clunky, and that
Oh
always
yeah,
is a bit of a
it's
problem with some of these era
and
scripts.
it's
It was sort of like, oh, hello Pating, hello 2005 Sycorax prop.
and it's also
It was
things happen, and then someone says, "Oh, things are happening," which isn't utterly necessary.
yeah,
It's like when Leo sort of holds a pipe and this human fluid comes out, and then someone says, "Oh, like, you're feeding the
yes,
Daleks human fluid," and it's like we've gathered that, and it's yeah. But
yeah.
I also
Uh,
something I did want to say. I mean, two things come to mind that I feel like I should say. On the positive note, I really like the sort of callbacks to various episodes. You can see it starting to all come together. I wish it was kind of a bit more cohesive and things made more sense at the time that it was going to be, as opposed to sort of endlessly teasing and not being able to judge episodes on their own merits as separate entities. But I liked
mm.
the little callbacks, like the final scene where they're learning to ride a bike again on the same place where it
Oh,
all started,
yeah,
which
yeah.
felt neat.
That got me a bit. That got me a bit emotional actually. I was
Yeah,
thinking,
because it,
it's been how
it
long has it been?
hits
It's
you
been
how long
3.
ago it's been. It's like just a little
Yeah,
over 2 years.
and we got you're doing it, mate, and all that.
Yeah, saying exactly
Those
the same things. I
classic
think they
lines
might
and
have dubbed the same dialogue over, and Grace appearing
the
as
yellow
well. And
beanie as well.
oh,
Okay, I will admit the Grace appearing bit. It was a nice idea, but it looked quite tacky.
yeah, they
It
the thing is
looked quite dodgy.
they
It was
say they've
like
got
done
the
on a
sun in
Zoom
their
call.
eyes, and it's supposed to be like a thing that's being caused by the
Yeah.
sun, but the sun's right behind them. But it was fine. But on the other hand, I felt there was too much music. This is a very regular complaint from me that there was just too much music and that they could have just quietened down a little bit as opposed to having that ambient hum. Or when the Daleks first appear, there's just like this sort of trap drum beats that didn't work. But
Yes, that was a bit interesting.
well, they did a similar thing in
Um,
Praxis. It didn't work then, and
yeah, yeah. I mean, saying Akinolo, it wasn't disappointing the music. It was, I mean, again, like a lot of his stuff, I didn't take
I
a lot
think
of it
his
on
stuff's
board, but I didn't
okay, and he's
ignore
certainly
it.
a more talented
Yeah,
composer than
yeah.
I am at the moment, studying for my music degree. But I just
Wow.
think this is a common complaint that I think with music at the moment in TV drama in general. Having watched old stuff like Inspector Morse and stuff from the 20th century, you realise how little they relied on music, but that made music all the more impactful when it actually appears. It's that less is more. Don't have music in
Yeah.
every scene. Just really focus on the scenes that do actually need music first and foremost. Make that your highest priority. Spend the time making sure the music is as good as it can be, and then worry about the other
Yes.
incidental stuff.
Now, I did want to talk about something very quickly that I noticed, which is I don't know if you watched Harbo's WhoTube Awards yesterday,
I did see
and
brief
he gave
snippets of it. Yeah,
right. He gave the award for the best writer of 2020 for Doctor
to
Who
Russell
to
T
Russell T
Davies. Yeah,
Davies, as a point of saying that a lot of the Chibnall era stuff is essentially borrowed. It was just ripped off from Russell T Davies' works. And my God, when I heard that line, "Have you had work done? You can talk." Yeah, I know you said that 13 years ago. Why are we repeating lines?
probably.
It,
There
I
are
did not
thinking
like
about
that
it now
bit.
that you had the Sonic Blaster, you had the Beauchene Peninsula, you had Rose Tyler. That in particular,
That was a
they
bit odd.
mention Rose Tyler is in the parallel universe for no reason. It's a bit like the TV movie
Yeah.
where they're like, "Oh, Tardis stands for time relative dimension in space." It was that kind of, yeah, maybe we could have done without knowing that.
Won't
Unless
stand for
of
you
course
bashing the
Rose
movie.
is returning in series 13, heaven forbid.
Oh God.
But yeah, there were all
Oh
these
God.
sort of nostalgic callbacks, which I think was fine, apart from the Rose Tyler thing, as long as it doesn't alienate viewers and la di da di da, and that was nice as long as the overall story is fine, which it was. But
Yeah. And then we get the scenes in the TARDIS on Earth, the house TARDIS, and I really really liked it. It was sort of a bit. It was a bit of like an Aliens of London situation,
yeah,
and Yaz was sleeping in the TARDIS, worrying about the Doctor. I really
we
liked
could have
it.
maybe seen a bit more on that. One thing that did kind of make me, that I thought to myself in the shower today was You know those characters from Ascension of the Cybermen, the Timeless Children, who travel back with Graham, Yaz, and Ryan? What happens
Oh
to
God,
them?
yeah.
You'd think they would be staying in touch or would get a brief mention with how they're going. They're not just left alone, surely, to learn it for themselves.
That is if they can remember their names, because heaven forbid I
Well,
can't.
one of them, the one that said to Graham, "I like Strange," was called Ravio, and I thought at the time they were going to become an item, they were going to become a thing, but no, no mention of Ravio or any of them.
Well, I feel like a lot of it. Obviously, it wasn't. It probably wasn't the best thing to do of taking on. It should stand its own independent episode, and they shouldn't have taken on all of the Timeless Children stuff, because there were still some scenes about that, and it's quite weird considering at the end of Timeless Children, or in the scene during there, because I watched it the other week because they did a watch along, is that she says, "Oh, if anything, this isn't inhibited me. If anything, I know more about myself," and she's all confident in the fact. And then you get scenes where she's sort of sulking in the TARDIS, going, "All my life is a lie," and you're thinking, "But hang on, just a minute ago you were taking it in your stride and being confident about it."
Yeah.
So that was a little inconsistency, especially if you're watching them back to back. Then that might be a bit jarring.
Yeah.
Um,
So
I was
one thought that's
gonna.
come to mind. Faries on Twitter has used the term "low stakes," which has reminded me. Apparently, there are. Oh no, it's like there are Daleks all over the world, and then they kind of lure all the Daleks to this one TARDIS in one corner. And it just felt weird that they were only like in one part of the globe, and it's like they're all over the UK, and then it kind of just focuses on this one tiny bit in Bristol. And the Clifton Suspension Bridge, which did
Yes,
look
yes.
cool, but I mean, they were. I'm just a bit bitter because they were there. For, I went on a little trip, like a uni open day to Bristol, and I saw the suspension bridge, and I was there, and they were filming, and then they filmed there like the day after or something. Like I was there on the Saturday, they were
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
filming on the
it was
Tuesday
the day
night.
before, wasn't it? Or the... Oh,
So
fair enough. Yeah. It looked good though. I really liked the way it looked. It was shot and directed really well.
yeah, I would say so.
Uh,
It was all
and
right.
the special effects were awesome when they were like running out of prison in the sort of orb blue thing. That looked good. Um, I think the guy who was like the Dalek puppet, the scientist guy who cloned the Daleks. Again, I really like that. Sort of reminded me a little bit of, I don't know, sort of slightly gave me Revelation of the Daleks vibes when you've got all of the
Yeah,
Dalek
I mean,
clones and it's all purple and
yeah,
things
I'm
like
not
that.
quite
But
sure what I think of the whole idea of like, oh, so Dalek mutants can now hijack human bodies. I mean, it worked in Resolution. I'm not sure if I like it as a
yes,
regular occurrence.
I mean, it is a yes, yeah. Um, I liked. Again, I'm just trying to skip through it and see bits I can pick out. The bit where Jack is talking to Yaz when they're in Japan. Um, and they're on the mission to find the Dalek, you know, whatever they're looking for at that point. And everything just sort of stops and slows down, and he has this speech which was quite okay. I didn't hate it, but it was kind of weird. Maybe they could have carried on as they were walking, or had that speech inside of the Dalek room rather than just stopping outside of the building. Like, come on, guys, you've got a whole thing to be taken care of here.
Hmm.
Maybe that was just me. I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of people in my in Facebook and things saying this is the best Chibnall era episode
I
yet.
think it was. Yeah, hmm. I'll
I
get
don't
back
know
to you
about
on
that.
that
I'd
one.
say
I don't want
it's
to say
yeah,
anything
yeah.
immediately because we had the Timeless Children first impressions, and I said it was
Well, we've
okay,
yeah,
and obviously, people told me that obviously I was wrong, so I kind of reappraised my opinion. This is the thing: your opinion's always going to be altered by people on
yes, yes,
IMDb pointing this out, and then you go, oh right, and it's a good point, but I mean on IMDb it's 6.4 at the moment.
right. Okay, that's not bad.
Which
That's not
of course,
awful.
that's going to change. But I think
Yes,
if you are a fan of the Chibnall era, you're going to like this. If you hate the Chibnall era, you're probably going to hate it. It's not going to
yes.
turn any heads. I think a few haters might think, well, okay, it was decent, it was all right.
Well, someone in this in one of the group chats I'm in on Facebook says that it's the worst. It's they hate the Chibnall era, but they think it's the best Chibnall
Yeah,
episode so
I
far.
think for a show that's like 16 years old, it would have been well. Series 1 will be 16 years, which is crazy, this
Bloody
March.
hell.
And for a show,
We were doing the commentaries a minute ago.
yeah, for a show that's been on the air 16 years, it's not a bad place for it to be in terms of quality. Obviously, it would be nice for it to be trying
Yeah.
new things out, but we just got to try and remember, we were a bit critical of Series 12, but let's just make the most of what we get, and I mean, still be critical, but like I said, I can say, oh well, that there was this and this that was wrong with it, and sort of minor plot holes. But I enjoyed it. I don't know whether I'll watch it again because maybe the novelty's worn
I
off
think I
of not
will.
knowing what's about to happen.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm just looking through it. What I really, really liked was especially the scene, like just seeing. Well, firstly, Jodie and Toast and Cole together. They were actually really, really good. And here was like me thinking that maybe Toast and Cole doesn't give a crap about the show anymore, but he was actually. The scenes
Yeah,
with Ryan and the Doctor in the
that sense at
TARDIS
the
was
start,
really,
but
really
then as it
good.
went on, they kind of got more
Yeah.
into it.
Really, really good. I did like that scene a lot. And also there was a really good looking CGI shot. There's something I would like to mention. So you know the scene where Jodie's flying the TARDIS in the middle of the sky and all the Daleks crowd around.
Oh yeah,
I really liked that. It looked really good. The CGI
I
was
liked
amazing.
that shot, and it
But
made me think,
so
what's
the
happening
background,
here?
yes, but the inside of the TARDIS, right, is meant to be blue. It's meant to be the white, classic looking one, and she's just changed the outside. So why does it still look like the interior? I'll send the picture to you now, because that's the Jodie Whittaker
Yeah.
console room in the
What
background.
that
you can
wasn't
see.
really what bothered me. What bothered? Oh, I get it. I think that was just to trick us viewers and to give the
Yes,
stuff
but
about
in
continuity.
continuity,
You'll have to
wasn't
put
it?
those pictures up on the screen so people know because I find it easier with the
Oh, it's
visual
too much
aid,
effort.
personally. I know it's but that wasn't what concerned me. What concerned me was when it starts compacting. The effects looked a bit when they're inside the TARDIS. It looks like
It was interesting.
it looks like iMac photo booth, one of those like the pinch and whirl effects.
It does. It does. Yes.
And
Yes.
when you got the exterior shot, my mum actually laughed at it. But
Yeah, I
I
didn't
mean,
know what to think. Whether it was
I
funny
can't see
or
how else they would have visualized it, and I wouldn't have had it any other way because it's Doctor Who is
Yeah.
very good at doing naff, but in a good way.
yeah, I feel like maybe yeah. I don't know. It was. I think over. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about that. I thought it. I mean, I thought maybe when I was watching it, I did notice that the lights were changing, and I thought, hang on, is this some sort of bad direction fault? But it did tie into the script. The Prime Minister woman was quite good.
Yeah, she was all right.
The death was good. Although, yet again, another thing is that supposed to be a new title sequence because there's that scene where they're watching the vortex on the scanner and it looks different. It's all blue.
I don't know.
Don't know what that's all about.
But
Again,
I did find it weird
the-
how the sort of tea lady acquires the Dalek at the start. That was a bit weird, but it just didn't make a
I
lot of
think-
sense to me.
yeah, maybe.
But maybe she was just a government snoop or something.
And I thought those characters were going to tie into more of the plot because I saw the guy at the beginning. I thought, oh god, we're going to have to. This guy's going to be a main character, but he wasn't really at all.
Yeah, I will say as
That was the end
as
of it.
political satire, it was certainly Chibnall's best.
Yes. Yes.
It's because it doesn't twist the knife so much.
Yeah. And I made you might have seen I made a video essay recently about how the Daleks are handled in the new series. And I think the Daleks were done really, really well here. Much better than any sort of Moffat stuff. Although that's not hard. I really like this sort of the Dalek war. The sort of impurity. Maybe we didn't see a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was on par, better than, worse than Remembrance of the Daleks in terms of the Dalek war. But it was not. I think again, I always do complain about how the 2005 Dalek design is being overused to hell.
Yeah.
But I guess there's not really much you can how else you can show that without using the old Dalek designs. That these are different Daleks compared to the new ones. I didn't really love the new Dalek designs, but I do understand where it was coming from. yeah, overall it was good.
I
I think
liked it.
good.
I liked it.
Yes.
It's not going to set the world
Again,
on
I
fire, but it's
no.
okay. It's yeah.
And of course the endings. Did you like the ending scene?
I thought I was kind of it
Actually,
kind of surprised me because I was expecting one of them to be exterminated. It felt I liked the fact
yes, yes.
it was kind of it wasn't foreshadowed too much until like the final act. I liked that it kind of came as a bit of a shock, but it was rather low key. You know, it
Mm.
surprised me that it was quite low key, but you know, Bradley Walsh was quite moving. Um, and that, like I said, that
Yes,
final
I
shot was
yeah.
good. I just wish that they had been given better stuff to do in the previous two series, and then it would have meant more. But on its own, it was a decent scene. But we'll see where
Yeah.
it goes. Because as we've been talking, Doctor Who have finally put out a press release on their website saying that John Bishop is joining the TARDIS crew as a companion. I don't
Right,
know
yeah.
how if that's yeah. I'm not because I don't mind John Bishop, but I've not really seen him. I've seen him as a sort of comedian on panel shows and stuff occasionally. He's not really been one of my favourites. So, I prefer Lee Mack and that kind of person. So,
Well, he got killed in Doctor Who,
yeah,
didn't
I
he?
don't know if John Bishop's if it's going to work as an actor, so I'll hold off making any
Yeah,
opinion. But we'll
yeah.
see where it goes. It's good that we've got confirmation that it's definitely going to happen in 2021.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So we got things to look forward to. Back into the wilderness now. And also something I liked how Graham's one of his the line before he leaves Jodie was I was right. You do get aliens in
Yeah,
Sheffield.
that was nice.
I think that was a tie back to the a bit obscure, but because
Again, it's
I'm
nice
not
to have all those
too familiar
tiebacks.
with Series 11, but yes, and of course the bike scene, and what was quite I was thinking that Jack was going to go on and become a companion for Series 13.
Well, that was one of the
I know it's a bit
rumours,
out of
but
field, but I did think that was going to happen. I just thought his exit.
yeah, his
I know they
exit
had to
felt
tie
a
up the
bit
exit for the other
abrupt,
two
but it feels
companions.
like it's setting up
Yeah,
for something. They have just announced
Torchwood Series 5.
they've announced like some more Torchwood Big Finish stuff.
Right.
Like the 50th monthly
Okay.
play, so I don't know if it ties into that,
Right.
but
Okay.
yeah, we'll just see where this goes. I mean, I've said that for a while, but we just have to see how this plays out. I'm still not wholly impressed with the Chibnall era, but this episode, like I say, it won't set the world on fire, but I'll take it for what it is.
Yeah. Um. Anything more to say? I feel like
No,
I will need to watch it again. I'll probably watch it again tomorrow.
I'm going to be
Um.
busy packing probably to go back to uni. Well, I haven't made my mind up yet on when I'm going to uni because of everything that's going on at the moment, but yeah. I kind of think maybe I'm getting too old for this Doctor Who malarkey. And then like a
Oh, really?
millisecond later, I perish the thoughts because why would I want to be saying that? That's such a dark, morbid thing to say.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah. Happy New Year. What are our
It's a-
plans for the future of this prosperous channel?
Um. For the moment, I was meant to say. Yeah. So for everyone watching, if you're still watching, who cares about the future of the channel? We're having not a massive break, just maybe at the moment for January we're focusing on bigger content. There will be some gaps, but we're not slacking. We're working towards bigger videos and things like that that just take more effort and time. So there won't be as many smaller videos. There might be. I don't know when the next video's going to be out. I'm still working on a couple of things, but yeah, just I mean, expect something and also expect nothing at the same time because it's a
Well,
cynical Who
that's a
video. You can't
cryptic
expect
clue,
much.
isn't it?
Yeah, we're going to be uploading to the Never realm.
Yeah.
We've gone on too long, haven't we? Anyway, this has been our reaction/review for Revolution of the Daleks.
Yeah.
That's what it's
Thank you
called.
for
Yeah.
all the support and Happy New Year.
Yes. Thank you for Happy New Year. Thanks for the support. Merry Christmas. And tell us what you thought of the story in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and
Yeah.
share the video.
This has been
And
very
we will see
rambly
you
and
all.
non-linear, and there's not been any rhyme or reason to it. It's not very coherent, so for that, apologies.
Classic for Cynical Who. Yeah, I will see you all next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.